Introduction. Eric Killmonger Stevens, a character from the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Black Panther, is a captivating and compelling villain. His tragic journey, fueled by abandonment and vengeance, showcases the destructive power of hatred. While his ambitions for world domination were flawed, Killmonger's character serves as a cautionary tale, highlighting the consequences of succumbing to the darkness within oneself. This essay delves into what makes Killmonger such a remarkable antagonist, exploring his legacy, influence, and the overarching themes of his character. Tragedy and transformation. Eric Killmonger Stevens' tragic past plays a significant role in shaping his character. As a child, he was abandoned and left to fend for himself, leading to a deep sense of resentment and anger. This emotional trauma transformed him into a vengeful individual driven by a desire for retribution. His journey from a vulnerable child to a ruthless villain showcases the tragic consequences of unchecked pain and the dangers of allowing it to consume one's identity. In the film Black Panther, Killmonger's transformation is portrayed through his brutal upbringing, living as an outsider in a world that rejected him. This isolation and abandonment fueled his anger, driving him to become a hardened warrior willing to go to any lengths to achieve his goals. Eric Killmonger Stevens' tragic past and transformation into a villain share similarities with other memorable antagonists. Like Anakin Skywalker from the Star Wars prequel trilogy, Killmonger experiences personal loss and abandonment, which fueled his descent into darkness. Both characters become consumed by their anger and resentment, leading them to embrace a path of villainy. Their tragic journeys serve as cautionary tales, highlighting the destructive consequences of unresolved pain and emotional turmoil. Flawed ambitions. Killmonger's ambitions for world domination, while driven by a desire to address historical injustices, ultimately prove to be flawed. His plan involves arming oppressed communities around the world to overthrow their oppressors. However, his approach lacks a nuanced understanding of the complexities involved in achieving true justice and equality. His thirst for power and vengeance blinds him to the potential catastrophic consequences of his actions. Killmonger's flawed ambitions become evident when he seizes control of Wakanda and plans to distribute advanced weaponry globally. While his intentions to empower the marginalized are understandable, his radical methods risk plunging the world into chaos and destruction, failing to consider the long-term implications of his plan. Killmonger's flawed ambitions for world domination can be compared to the aspirations of villains like Lex Luthor from the Superman franchise. Both characters possess a desire for power and control, but their ambitions lack nuance and consideration for the wider implications. Killmonger and Luthor's radical methods and short-sightedness undermine their goals, revealing the dangers of pursuing personal agendas without understanding the complexity of the world they seek to shape. The ravages of revenge. Killmonger's unyielding pursuit of revenge against those he believes have wronged him and his people highlights the destructive nature of vengeance. His single-minded focus on settling scores drives him to commit heinous acts and forsake his own humanity. In the end, revenge corrupts Killmonger, turning him into a merciless and remorseless antagonist. Killmonger's quest for revenge is exemplified by his determination to kill T'Challa and take over the throne of Wakanda. His desire to avenge his father's death consumes him to the point where he is willing to sacrifice everything, including his own principles and the lives of others, to achieve his vendetta. Killmonger and the Joker illustrate the destructive nature of revenge, showing how it can corrupt one's humanity and lead to acts of brutality. Their characters serve as reminders that revenge is a double-edged sword that ultimately consumes the avenger. The legacy of destruction. Killmonger's actions have far-reaching consequences, leaving behind a legacy of destruction. As a soldier and mercenary, he causes countless deaths and exacerbates the cycle of violence. His legacy serves as a chilling reminder of the immense harm that can result from unchecked anger and a distorted worldview. Killmonger's legacy is reflected in the lives lost during his time as a soldier and mercenary. His expertise in warfare and ruthlessness led to the deaths of numerous individuals, both known and unknown. This legacy of destruction underlines the urgency of addressing the root causes of villainy and the importance of striving for peace and justice. Killmonger's legacy of destruction can be compared to the impact left behind by Magneto from the X-Men franchise. Both characters have experienced oppression and discrimination, which fuels their extremist ideologies. They believe that their actions will bring about justice and empower their marginalized communities. However, their methods result in widespread destruction and loss of innocent lives. Killmonger and Magneto's legacies highlight the far-reaching consequences of unchecked anger and the dangers of pursuing one's ideals at any cost. A villain forged by injustice. Killmonger's character embodies the pain and anger resulting from systemic injustice and marginalization. He becomes a vessel for the frustrations of a community that has long suffered oppression. While his transformation into a villain is a consequence of personal choices, it also highlights the devastating impact of social inequities on individuals. Killmonger's motivation stems from the mistreatment and neglect experienced by him and his people. He sees himself as the product of a system that has failed to protect and uplift those in need. His actions, though extreme, are fueled by a desire to right the wrongs done to his community and force the world to confront its own complicity in perpetuating inequality. Killmonger's character as a villain shaped by injustice finds parallels in the likes of Scar from Disney's The Lion King. Both villains come from marginalized groups and harbor deep resentment towards those in power. Scar and Killmonger's actions stem from a desire to rectify the historical wrongs done to their people. However, their thirst for power and inability to rise above their own anger leads them down a path of destruction. They serve as reminders of the complexities of social injustice and the importance of seeking justice without succumbing to the darkness within. Conclusion. Eric Killmonger Stevens stands out as an exceptional villain due to his tragic journey, flawed ambitions, and the destructive consequences of revenge. His legacy serves as a potent reminder of the harm that can be caused when darkness consumes a person. Killmonger's character is a testament to the need for self-reflection, addressing injustice, and striving for a better future. By exploring his complex motives and actions, we gain valuable insights into the human condition and the impact of our choices.